Yeah, there's actually one piece in particular. One of my friends from my other class actually put in this one piece called Scholarships, which has nothing to do with scholarship, but it's a graphic design of a car. It's actually over in the over in the graphic design part. I really liked that piece myself. I thought it was really astonishing. It's kind of like professional work. I personally think it'd be a crime against humanity if it doesn't win anything, but that's my own opinions for the judges to come up with. But yeah, that one piece I really liked it. I also like a lot of the watercolor piece, or the watercolor piece that I put in along. I forget the name of it, but there's one in the graphic design case. That's a little booklet of a bunch of that stuff. Just all together at this show, I think that people have stepped up their game a little bit. They've really invested something in it. I think this is one of the better ones that we've had so far. So that's my input.
Thank you. Jamie?
Well, as soon as you walk into the art gallery, you're automatically taken by this giant giraffe. It is amazing. It is done by Rafael Corzo. I have had the pleasure of working with him in many classes. I'm actually in ceramics with him this semester. One watercolor course that we took together, he did a giant ink painting of a giraffe. So it's so funny to walk into the studio this year and see it in real life in 3D. So he's always working big. I love all of his pieces, and he's definitely in his own world. Gotta give him that. But he's amazing, and that just struck out to me. It's one of my favorites. I love everything in the art show this semester, but that is just definitely number one.
Thank you, Jamie. Aiden?
Like Stanley said, all the work is it's superb this semester. There's no other word for it. But one piece that really jumps out at me it's called Middle Initials. It's by Sarah Riley. It's all about an E. It's over there on the far wall. But the way she did it, she has these 3 sections on the one paper, and the 3 sections are each an E, but they're designed differently. Like they have this, one of them has a grid behind it, one of them is made out of the grid, and it's just the flexibility of her thoughts and her arrangement of, a single letter and all these different lines and shapes. It stood out to me. Like everybody else says, some of them just stand out to certain people. That one really caught my eye.
Thank you, Aiden. And John, what do you think?
I have a tendency to associate artworks with people, and the more I know the artwork and I know the person behind it, the more I get attracted to it. And one of the most interesting pieces that really caught my eye was that watercolor piece done by Crystal. And one of the reasons why it really interested me was because I worked with the artist for a whole semester. And she continually tells us that her work doesn't really come up to a certain standard in her mind, and that fascinates me because now I come up to this work that she has displayed for us to see, and it's just amazing. And it makes me think about what artists think and how we sort of think about our pieces, and in contrast, what our viewers see them. And it sort of gives us psychology into how we think as artists and how we present ourselves to our viewers, and how our artworks are completely different from that. And it fascinates me, and it's amazing. And I see all these different pieces, and I know that there's an artist behind it, and they're all completely different, and it shows you, it's like a window into their minds, and that fascinates me. And you see all these things, and it's just amazing.
Thank you, Joanne.
Yeah, what I've seen this time around is that there's been like more entry to most of the students that they do on digital art or graphic design, because like previous exhibition, they have limited space for graphic artists and everything. But this time around, I think there's more entry for graphic artists and everything, which is good, because then it will give them more mindset and more opportunity for them to work more harder next time, so that most of their work could be in the show also. So.
Thank you. Carly, do you have any observation?
Like everyone has said, the work this semester has been looks wonderful in the gallery. It's really one of the best shows I think we've had. But one of my favorite pieces was the design piece there. I forget the title of it, but the artist is in one of my design classes, and I know the hard work she put behind it, and seeing the finished work framed on the wall, it really looks beautiful.
Thank you. Colin?
All right, for the most part, I don't have much to say about it, but some things that surprised me were the works by Raphael. I don't know him, but you walk in here and you're like, you look at something, you're like, holy smokes, somebody did that? It's awesome. Otherwise, no comment.
You mean sculpture, but also paintings that he
Yeah,
did, because Raphael has more than one piece in this exhibition. Now, I would like to ask our audience: do you have any questions for our participants that you would like them to answer? Yes. Please, will you get up so that we can see you and I'm going to invite you? This is yeah, but you have to speak louder because mic is not being related to.
Okay. All right. Thank you. My name is Sofia. I'm taking first semester here in PG, but majoring in visual communication. I have a question to you guys. Is there anything particular that inspires you in your artwork? Like something that really gives you like, boom, flash, and you know what to do?
Who will answer?
I'd like to say this sort of relates to the art show and why the art show is important. Because you're always trying to get into something, the inspiration should be to beat your best, always to do better. You know, that's to whether to compose it differently here or change a few colors over there. It's just always to be better is my inspiration. I always am striving just to beat my record and to try and get into the show. And unfortunately, I haven't really gotten in yet, but I'm working on it. Definitely working on it, and that's my inspiration.
Great.
Thank you.
And your goal, I hope,
Of course.
among other goals. So, more
I was
questions?
just gonna add to that.
Yes, you're welcome.
Being observant in life. You're driving down the road, you see the color, especially at this time of season, fall. You take those colors and you can probably take that and incorporate it into a piece later on. You see a fabric and you're like, oh, I wish I could draw that, and you put that into it. And it's just taking bits and pieces of everything and trying to compile it into one way that's trying to express your thoughts. And also music. Definite inspiration. Yes.
Good. Combination of music and art, visual art, yes.
Also, what I would like to add is that it all depends on how creativity, the creativeness of that person is also, because I can remember I took Professor Sarah Wagner class like 2 or 3 semesters ago. You know, you just have to do what you think is right for you to do as an artist. You know, you have to be creative. You have to do. It all depends on where you come from. Definitely, the cultural boundary will be there because I'm from Nigeria, which is Africa. Almost everything I do will be either after that will be pertaining to what I know, my culture influence everything I do as an artist.
And
So
it's your inspiration?
yeah,
I hope.
it's my inspiration for people to be able to understand. If you're an artist, there shouldn't be no boundary for you. You could always do what you have to do.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Asma. Someone else wants to comment?
I'm going
Colin?
to add to that.
Oh, you want to add? Okay. Ladies first.
I'm going to add to the cultural boundary thing that he was talking about because I come from the Philippines. And although cultures are different, and a lot of people have a tendency to ask me if my art has to draw inspiration from Asian themes, and I don't know how to answer them because I don't dwell on culture, although it is a huge part of how it forms me as an artist. But my main inspiration in making my art is the truth that I see in people, the truth that I see in the world, and how I can sort of condense that into a piece that when you look at it, you see it and you know it's true. And you know that it shows you a part of life that you just ignore, I guess, to a certain extent because it's so mundane, and with all of the things that are happening around us with all the advances in technology, we just dismiss it as something that's just passing. But it's truth, and it's beautiful. That's what inspires me.